chickens drink now. I don't know any other chickens in Tioga County, Pennsylvania that drink bottled water.
After the G family reported they could light their water on fire, Shell tried several times to squeeze or fix the cement shop. All the while, the gas industry and public continued to deny any instances of water contamination. This just didn't make sense. Everywhere I had gone, whether it was Texas, PA, Colorado, there were the same problems. I'd seen all this on the surface, but what was actually happening under the ground?
Please welcome Tom Ridge. You are the former governor of the great state of Pennsylvania, the Keystone State, first Secretary of Homeland Security. Now you're a lobbyist for the natural gas industry. We've all seen the footage of flaming water. Whoa. Is that really happening to people's water supplies, sir?
Out here is the rock. We're looking at a cross-section of a well that's being drilled. So ultimately you want your gas to come up the steel pipe. That inch right there, this is cement. And what you don't want is for that cement to fail or to be absent, to crack, to corrode, to crumble, to disappear. If what's down there can get into this annulus, then it can migrate.
Yes, it is happening to some water supplies, and it has absolutely nothing to do with hydraulic fracking. Methane gas is naturally occurring. They've had methane gas, when speaking as a governor, in some of our water wells in Pennsylvania long before any wells, frack wells, were located next to them.
Those are phenomena that are very well known for as long as we've been drilling wells and casing them.
Naturally occurring methane gas often ends up in water wells, but there has not been a single proven instance where it has been related to hydraulic fracking.
So now the shallow gas goes into an open annulus, pressurizes the annulus, gas migrates into an underground source of drinking water, somebody's water well. In my field, there are only three things that are certain: death, taxes, and fracture.
Meet Professor Tony Ingraffia, Professor of Engineering at Cornell, the two-time winner of the National Research Council Award for Rock Mechanics Research, co-winner of a NASA Group Achievement Award, a former researcher for Schlumberger, the #1 fracking company in the world, and for the Gas Research Institute, proud Sicilian, accomplished turkey hunter, and in 2011, one of Time Magazine's People Who Matter. But I like to think of him as the godfather of cement.
Hundreds of thousands of onshore wells, thousands of offshore wells. There's a probability of maybe 1 in 20 that a cement job will fail immediately.
1 in 20.
1 in 20.
So 5%.
5% of all wells immediately will show a failure of the cement job, and there will be methane migration, because that means that this annulus, the area between the casing and the rock, is now open from below to above. You now have a migration pathway so that anything that's down there in the way of salts, heavy metals, other deleterious things that were stored in the rock now have a pathway and a vector and something to carry them upwards. I'm using the round number of 100,000 Marcellus wells in Pennsylvania alone.
Right.
Okay. If 1 out of 20 is going to immediately show a cement failure, now we're talking 5,000 wells. If that one water well is going bad, it means that aquifer, as what happened in Dimmock, it's the one aquifer that was servicing all those water wells. Yeah.
Professor Ingraffia was basically telling me that a gas well is a long steel pipe surrounded by an inch of cement, and that cement cracks often. But there's one part of a gas well that he didn't mention: the PR department.
So my job, and I do have a paid job as a consultant with the industry, is to make sure as Pennsylvania that we take advantage of their resources.
I needed to talk to an expert in that part of the operation. Naomi Oreskes, author of the book Merchants of Doubt, traced disinformation campaigns from big tobacco all the way up to climate change.
If we say, oh yes, oil and gas come out of people's taps naturally, a lot of people just don't know. They think, oh really, is that true? Oh well, I have heard people say that in Santa Barbara the tap water smells bad, so maybe it's true. Okay, now we have a debate, right? An ordinary person who doesn't know what to think doesn't need to think that I'm right. They just need to think that there's a debate, because so long as there's a debate, then there's an argument for staving off regulation.
In the 50s, Hill and Knowlton, PR firm, designed the strategy to dispel that nasty little rumor that tobacco caused lung cancer. Misinformation and supporting bogus science it would call into doubt the legitimate signs. America's Natural Gas Alliance hired Hill & Knowlton in 2009 as their PR firm. All of a sudden, ads were everywhere. They even bought my name on Google.
Oh, so there it is. So 60 years later, right, we have the same PR firm that actually invented. John Hill was the originator of this whole strategy. So there they are still doing the same thing again 50, 60 years later.
Wow.
Wow. It's depressing, isn't it?